28 years of age, and there is Hilario Guzman. He took his quarterfinal match of Boxino on just 2 weeks' notice and got the win against Chavez. And there is 21-year-old Acelino Freitas of Brazil, from Salvador Bahia. 2 years as a professional. His brother, a loser earlier tonight in the featherweight division. Acelino packs a lot of power. 7-0 with 7 knockouts. He scored a first-round TKO over John Montantes of the United States in the quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this semifinal showdown. You see the height is the same, the weight is the same, and now the reach not really a factor.
No, it really isn't. I think both of these men have the same physical attributes. It's the power of Acelino that makes the difference.
We are set for this semifinal showdown between Freitas and Guzman.
Introducing the principals. In the red corner to my left, wearing the blue trunks, white trim with red and white accessories. He weighs in at 134.5 pounds. His professional record, 15 victories, 11 defeats, 2 draws, and 3 wins by way of knockout. El hijo de la República de Panamá, Hilario Guzman. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the yellow trunks, green trim, also weighing in at 134.25 pounds. He is undefeated in 10 professional bouts, all 10 wins coming by way of knockout. El hijo de la República de Brasil, here is Acelino Freitas. 10 rounds, lightweights.
Caballeros, una pelea limpia, ¿ok? Tocan guante, que gane el mejor.
Begin round number 1. Freitas, the 21-year-old, 7-0 with 7 knockouts in the yellow and green. And Guzman from Panama in the blue. He is the only boxer remaining in the tournament from Panama. Freitas has 3 first-round knockouts in his career. He's never been past 3 rounds. And remember, this bout is scheduled for 10. Meanwhile, Guzman has been 10 or more rounds 14 times.
These early rounds very important for Guzman. Freitas is a gunslinger. He comes out smoking, and he will look to knock you out with almost every power punch he throws. Referee Garcia getting in the way, and Guzman looks back at him and says, hey, I don't need any other impediments. I'm in here against this big puncher.
Guzman trying to tie up Freitas.
And the same questions that we had about Luis Freitas, we have about his brother, but we may not have to ask him because he already hurt Guzman with the right hand. Taking him into the later rounds would be what Guzman needs to do, but can he get there? Every one of those power punches is a home run ball by Freitas.
And that young man, Acelino Freitas, is trying to make a name for himself, not only in this tournament, but worldwide, as someone who will contend for a world championship at some point. This is the perfect format for him.
You know, despite some of the flaws he has, he's a little wild from time to time, forgets about defense. He's one of those guys that creates excitement when he gets in the ring. I mean, you feel the electricity, like something is going to happen. Nice right hand gets in by Freitas, and he gets wild with the hook. Now, he has seen his brother Luis lose already in this tournament. The question is, what impact will that have on him?
Looks like he is trying to take Guzman out here in round 1.
And he's being very wild in doing it, Bob. Wilder than we saw him when when he beat Montantes.
Yeah, he was much more controlled in scoring that first round TKO. And so far, to Guzman's credit, he has weathered the storm.
He's been hit with some pretty big power punches by Freitas.
Well, Acelino told us he gets very nervous when his brother fights. His brother, a loser earlier tonight in the featherweight category. Now his brother is watching him. Final seconds of round number 1, scheduled for 10 semifinals, lightweight division, Freitas and Guzman. So we know Acelino gets nervous when Luis Claudio boxes. How does the brother feel? He's standing by with Dave Bontempo.
Translator Anibal Miramontes. Luis, do you think your brother should go for an early knockout here?
¿Te parece que tu hermano tiene que tratar de noquear ahora en el próximo round?
Ele tá bem treinado também, igual a mim. E ele vai ganhar por nocaute. Eu acho que essa luta não vai chegar ao 5º round.
He said he's trained very well, and he knows he's going to knock him out early. The fight is not going to go to 10 rounds.
Is it harder watching your brother than fighting yourself?
¿Qué es más difícil, mirar a tu hermano o pelear? Você pelear.
Mirar meu irmão, porque é o caçula da família e sabe como é, né? Gosto muito dele e eu, mais velho, procuro dar a maior força a ele, né?
He said it's harder to watch his brother, his family, and there is their own blood. So it's very hard to watch somebody from your family doing something like that.
All right, thank you both, and now back to ringside.
As we take a look at Acelino Freitas embark upon round number 2 against Hilario Guzman. Freitas has 3 second-round knockouts in his brief career.
Freitas not using the jab, very lands the lead right hand. Guzman has used the jab a little bit more here. And as this fight settles in, and it is really a key issue, can Guzman take him into those later rounds? And when we say later rounds, for this young Freitas, that could mean the 5th or 6th, Bob, not necessarily the 10th.
How about the 4th?
Yeah.
Never been past 3 rounds.
Guzman is a veteran, as you point out, who has been the 10-round limit a number of times and been 12 as well. So he can settle into that.
He turned pro in 1987. His 11th year as a professional. He turned pro and Freitas was 10 years old.
And some of those veteran tricks starting to come to bear here after he got through the onslaught of Freitas.
There's Luis Claudio Freitas, his older brother, taking it in at ringside. Wild left hand.
Luis is probably the better ring technician, but Acelino is the one who probably has more power.
More potential as a pro.
Probably, yeah, because of that power.
From a team standpoint, we come to the end of the semifinals here in the lightweight division. Mexico leads the way with 6 1/4 points. They're 5-1 in the tournament. Puerto Rico has 5 1/4 points. 3.5 points for Brazil, 3.5 points for Argentina. Panama with just the 1 point, the decision that Guzman garnered in the quarterfinals.
Freitas having all kinds of trouble getting in. He's not using his jab very well. Guzman doing a good defensive job. Freitas looking for that one big bomb, but in the process not really putting his punches together.
Final seconds of round number 2. Semi-final action in the lightweight division. Acelino Freitas and Hilario Guzman on the deuce. Miami, Florida. Florida. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein, Dave Bontempo. Round number 3 underway in the semifinal lightweight bout between Acelino Freitas from Brazil in the yellow and green, and Panama's Hilario Guzman in the blue, white, and red. Freitas 7-0 with 7 knockouts. He has only been 3 rounds once. He scored a 3rd round TKO over Marco Lima in Brazil back in 1995. Guzman, the 11-year pro. In his 29th professional bout, he has just 3 knockouts, but he's been 10 or more rounds 14 times. And now so far he has confused the younger Freitas.
Especially in the 2nd round. In round 1, I think Freitas was able to get some shots in that were good power shots, but in round 2, Guzman has used his veteran skills. Now he's backing Freitas up and reducing him to those wild lunging punches.